Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm reverberating here. Ms. Morgan, will you please call roll?
Chair Langley,
Here.
Vice Chair,
Here.
Mr. Barrett, Ms. Musgrove,
Here.
Ms. Kirkpatrick, and Mr. Smith.
And we do have a quorum. Thank you all for coming today on this special called session. Well, not special called, actually a rescheduled session from the end of the month. We do have one order of business to discuss, and we have 1 month's worth of minutes from June 9th, 2016. Is there a motion at this time to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and the minutes are accepted. Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Mr. Womack, if you'll go ahead and come, you'll need to sign. Have you already signed in? If you don't mind signing in. Mr. Duke would like to say something. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were approaching.
Get up, come.
I apologize. I'm used to actually getting up and making a report with the other two boards that I deal with.
Oh, they do it the wrong way, I see.
They do it the way they prefer, and you do it the way you prefer. So
Got it. Thank you. Mr. Womack, come on up. If you'll just present to us your request, and then we will have Mr. Duke to come up and present the staff report, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. We're requesting a certificate of appropriateness to install a pool, 18 by 36, with concrete decking and a wood privacy fence.
Okay. Have a seat. Mr. Duke.
you have in front of you, I believe, the staff report that shows this property at 132 North Northington Street has been before you before, back in February. It says there of 2103. It should say 2013. For removal of a brick chimney, and that was approved at that time by this board. The house is a contributing property to the Daniel Pratt Historic District, built roughly in 1900. You can see there the description. The requested change, as Mr. Womack has indicated, is for 18 by 36 in-ground swimming pool with concrete deck, and then also a 6-foot privacy fence. Also listed in the report are the sections of your residential design guidelines dealing with pools and fountains. That's from page 51, and fences from page 46. All of the requested, both of the requested additions are consistent with your guidelines. The pool being in the backyard as allowed. Some of you remember Mr. Thomason, who did our helped with our guidelines, and I like his comment that he stuck in there. It says, pools and fountains are a modern element that are most welcome on a summer day! Exclamation point. We all agree today, and certainly that's the case. We want to see these houses lived in and modernized with modern conveniences, but the pool being in the backyard, basically out of sight, is the appropriate location. So again, that meets the guidelines, and then wooden privacy fences have been permitted in the backyards. So see no reason for any modifications to this request.
Okay, before you go, are there any questions for Mr. Duke at this time? No? Yes, Larry?
Just a comment, it appears that the house adjacent and next door already has a built-in swimming pool there. So, correct?
That appears to be the case.
Thank you.
Again, welcome on a hot summer day. I wish I was sitting beside one now.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Womack, if you'll come forward just to see if there are any questions for you. We had a map from Google that showed our pool extremely dirty one time, and then the next time it was very clean, the next time the satellite came around. So, yes, looks like yours might need a little cleaning there.
That's a cover on it.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry, I digress. Are there any questions for Mr. Womack?
I have a curiosity question.
Okay.
What is the existing wall that's shown on your diagram?
It's about a 2-foot brick retaining wall that separates
So
the
the
backyard.
upper part of the yard is elevated.
It is. It's got a slight, and I probably should have added it in there. Until they grade it, I'm not sure if we're going to need a retaining wall on the back part of the pool or not. If we do, it may only be, Mr. Poole said, maybe a foot, and we probably may not even need that.
But that existing wall will remain.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, we've had the opportunity to find out more information from Mr. Womack and Mr. Duke. If there are no further questions, is there a motion to be made at this time?
I move that we issue a certificate of appropriateness for 132 North Northington Street for pool and fence as presented.
Motion has been made and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and it has been approved. Thank you, Mr. Womack. We appreciate you coming, and good luck. We'll all be over in about 6 weeks for a barbecue. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Start digging.
Are there any other items that we need to discuss, Mr. Duke, at this time?
Last chance to sign up to go to Mobile. I hope each of you received the information we sent by email. Did everybody get it? Okay. If you're interested in going, unfortunately, I think most of the nearby hotels have been taken, but Mobile's not that hard to get around in. And if you're interested, there are plenty of hotel rooms either across the bay or out toward the airport. So if you're interested in going, please let us know. Well, I mean, there's lots to be learned from Seaside.
The architecture, that's right.
Designs at Seaside.
Or Alice
so-
Beach, one or the other, yes. Thank you, Mr. Duke. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and we are adjourned. Thank you guys for coming.